With the C130 update out for a while now, let's take a look at the C130s and review them. And I'll recommend you the C130s that you should buy. Now, before we begin, let's first know some commonalities among all four C130s. All of them have the interactions and the movable parts, like the doors. All C130s have a somewhat similar engine noise. All C130s have the same cockpit, as you can see here, and all C130s feature a pilot. If we look out here, we see that we are in the helmet of that pilot. As you can see, the ramp is now partially open. I can fully open the ramp by selecting ramp full. And then I can close the ramp and the side door. All C130s feature 4 settings of flaps: 0%, 20%, 50% and 100%. None of the C130s have a spoiler, and they all require a fair amount of engine power to begin taxiing. All the C130s except for the C130 J30 are the same length. The AC130, as you can see here, has some extra guns on the side on the left. However, these guns cannot be moved or controlled. And as obvious, none of these guns can be used to shoot other planes down, which of course would be an awesome feature. However, this is not something that the flying development studio has ever considered. The AC-130 also features some engine covers towards the rear of the engine. It also features some other bumps you wouldn't see on the other C130s. More or less the C130H. However, unless if you are trying to finish the collection of C130s, I wouldn't recommend the AC-130, as it only has one livery but has the same cost as all the other C130s. But otherwise, if you just love the plane, go and get it because it's still quite awesome. As you can see, I'm not really taxiing. I'm actually, in fact, slowing down with only 20% of power. I'm putting 49% of power to begin taxiing. However, the plane does get off the ground quite easily. Right at 600,000 kilograms. The plane will rotate at around 110 knots. Airspeed, that is. Also, the AC-130 and the C-130H has the 2 ropes that connect the tail to the front end of the plane. As you can see, I am already airborne and not quite over 140 knots. Also, interestingly, the C-130 does not have an overspeed. And it also seems to have the characteristics of a fighter aircraft, where you cannot get violations for overspeeding. The C-130 is rather delicate on its wings, so make sure you do not contact them. Next we have the C-130H. This one is one of the ones I would recommend since it has the Belgian air component delivery, which is quite awesome. Then also there's the Blue Angels for Albert. Egypt Air Force is also quite a cute livery. The Netherlands Air Force is the standard grey, not too much to see, and then there's the US Navy. So the C-130H has three beautiful liveries. The C-130H is more or less the C-130 without the guns, because there's no gun on the left of there's no guns. The left side door can now also be open. Otherwise the features are the same and everything else is the same, really. So the only difference is that it doesn't have engine covers on the rear, and there's no guns, none of these special equipment on the plane, and the pilots are the same. The C-130J is the more modern version without the two wires connecting to the tail. It also has the newer engines, and the liveries seen on this plane is the Royal Air Force livery, which is somewhat bland, but it does have a refueling pole at the head of the aircraft. The Royal Air Force 50 years anniversary livery is a big improvement over the RAF livery, although this is a special livery. However, that would be one of the liveries that you would have. Now, the Hurricane Hunter livery is also again somewhat bland with a few stripes and the US Air Force markings. Then there's a Moody Air Force Base livery, where one of the helpers of FDS works at. The other livery is the US Coast Guard livery, which is along with the RAF 50 year anniversary livery, one of the highlights of this aircraft. The C-130J, as you can see, the slightly bigger engines, which are newer, and it's a newer plane. As you can see, there's no more wires running to the tail. Otherwise, it is more or less similar to the C-130H. So if you are going for the C-130s, I would choose this. So if we're trying to buy an aircraft for the two aircraft for the C-130, I would recommend the C-130J or the H, and the C-130J30, which is an extended version, which is an C-130J with a longer body. The highlights of this plane are really only the Royal Air Force of Oman livery. Otherwise, all the other liveries are somewhat bland, with the standard grey coat of paint. The C130J30, as you can see, is longer, but still, it is really the same, but longer. And if you're like me and really love planes that are extended, like the C130J30, I would go for this. So for the two planes I would recommend, if you're buying two of the C130s, I would recommend the C130J or the H and the C130J30. Now, if you're only going to get one C130, I would recommend the C130J as it's the more modern version. However, if you're just going for liveries, I suggest the C130H as it has the most not bland liveries. Even a livery like this will be colorful enough as it's not simply one color except for the text. So now let's do a pattern around San Clemente.
San Clemente Unicum. Test flight 124 is taking off runway 24, remaining in the pattern.
We should rotate very soon now. As you can see, we're in the just under 130 knots.
San Clemente Unicum. Test flight 124 is on right crosswind, runway 24.
It's quite annoying how the voice engine pronounces test crosswind as if someone's being whined. There's nothing I can really say for that. Surprisingly, it still hasn't been fixed. Now you may have or may not have noticed, right next to the fuel pods, a little bay opens up when the doors open. Now I'm not sure what that is about, but it's a pretty cool feature. Also, as you can see, we can see this. We can see the sides of the plane with the windows down there. We're now on downwind.
San Clemente Unicum. Test flight 124 is on right downwind, runway 24.
It's a really beautiful plane. I do recommend that you should buy all of them. we're going to try and make some tight turns to line up. On right base. 2-4. Now I still haven't mastered the landing on the C130 yet, so don't start blaming me if I thump into the ground. Interestingly, from here, it looks like the taxiway is curved. Now, I'm not sure what the salt landing is, but from the videos I watched, I think it's pretty much something like this. Forgot to call final.
San Clemente Unicum. Test flight 124 is on final. Runway 24.
Well, that wasn't too bad. There's still a lot of runway to taxi, so we're going to do max 10 speed. So just then, there was a bit of a jump in the sound. I'm not sure what that is, and it also occurs on the dash. Well, there you go. That's the C130. Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe and like it, please.